Well, Jordan Peterson, if you don't know him, he doesn't know himself, so it's not a big deal. I mean, if you ask him, who are you? He'll tell you what is who, what is are, what is you. So, also, unsubstantiated, intertwined type of non-understandable philosophy. But he made more statements now about genocide. So he's trying to whitewash genocide now. He says some of these people, some of these Western intellectuals who claim to be these enlightened champions of either Christianity or, atheism or modernity, whatever you want to call it. But when it comes to Zionism, basically the Zionists hiding, Zionists in disguise. These people are fronts to Zionism without declaring it, to infiltrate the minds of the Western populations under so many excuses and titles and names and reference, whatever they want to call it. So this guy, Peterson, he just had an interview, or not an interview, it was kind of a video published on YouTube on a channel called Jubilee. They bring like a round table, people like, I don't know, one atheist versus 20 religious people, whatever it is. And they called actually this video one Christian versus 20 atheists. But all of a sudden, and by the way, Jordan Peterson was supposed to represent Christianity. Jordan Peterson, the man who told Benjamin Netanyahu, give him hell, give the people of Gaza hell after the 7th of October. So he had a couple of responses that I wanted to share with you. One of them is this video here, where he was debating a guy, and then I will get to the genocide part too. Let's have a look.
Why is that relevant?
Because you go to a Catholic church, don't you? Or you've attended recently. You're interested in Catholicism, aren't you?
Why is that relevant?
Because you go to a Catholic church, don't you? Or you've attended recently. You're interested in Catholicism, aren't you?
Sure.
All right. Are you familiar with their doctrines?
Somewhat.
Okay, you're
Their
familiar.
doctrines are very
How do they
deep.
regard Mary?
Why are you asking me that?
Because you're a Christian.
You say that. I haven't claimed that.
Oh, what is this? Is this Christians versus atheists?
I don't know.
You don't know where you are right now.
Don't be a smartass.
Well,
and I mean
either you're a
'cause I
Christian
won't
or you're
talk
not.
to you if you're a smartass.
Oh, either you're a Christian or you're not. Which one is it?
I could be either of them, but I don't have to tell
could be-
you.
You don't have to tell me. I was under the impression
private.
I was invited to talk to a Christian. Am I not talking to a Christian?
No, you were invited to.
I think everyone should look at the title of the YouTube channel. You're probably in the wrong YouTube video,
You're really quite something. You are.
aren't I? But you're really quite nothing, right? You're not a Christian.
Okay, I'm done with him.
So if you don't know Jordan Peterson, that was a quite good introduction about him. Not knowing what he is or who he is, and is he a Christian, is he not a Christian, is he something else? I don't know. What is we, what is God, what we believe, everything is supposed to be confusing for the man. Anyway, he then reached a stage, and again, these people like Jordan Peterson and what have you, Jordan Peterson, Sam Harris, Douglas Murray, all of these names, they come up with a certain thing that they focus on in general, only for them to kind of put the poison in slightly here and there, and then in a very blatant manner, especially in relation to their abhorrent Zionist positions. Full support for Zionism, and whenever it comes to anti-Muslim bigotry, for example, they'll be the champions of it. Any criticism towards Israel, they will try and deviate from it somehow and justify genocide, justify barbarism, justify racism, because it's embedded in them, in their nature. And they try and portray themselves in a different manner to the world. So with Peterson, in that same roundtable that they had, or this meeting, this debate, he was then challenged by a man who was questioning him about the Amalekites. Amalekites, the reference that was used by Benjamin Netanyahu to kill and slaughter everyone, infants, women, men, children, whatever it is. And listen to Jordan Peterson trying to justify genocide. Listen to this.
1 Samuel 15:3, God says, go and slaughter the Amalekites, slaughter the men, the women, the children, the infants. What's the justification for that? Is that in line
That's a
with
good
Christian
question.
ethics?
That's a good question. I don't really know what to do with the terrible, blood-soaked, saturated history of the human past. I don't know. And I don't think anybody knows. I mean, what you try to do in your own life, as far as I can tell, is to conduct yourself in a manner that makes such things much more unlikely.
I totally agree.
We're all saddled with the problem of the catastrophes that got us here, aren't we?
Yeah, but this one was commanded by God. That's the problem.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what differentiates it from anything else, is that this one, it's God
do you
saying,
think that
go
there's
and
ever
do this
such a thing?
atrocity.
Do you think that there's ever such a thing as a righteous war?
I'm skeptical. I'm not sure. It would probably be situational.
Well, right, fair enough.
But this one
people,
certainly wasn't a just war. The context for the Amalekite slaughter is that 400 years earlier, they fought one battle, which they lost, and God says, that's it, I'm going to wipe them off the face of the goddamn earth. And then 400 years later, he commands the Israelites to genocide their great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren. That's not a just war at all. And also, a genocide is not a war.
well, a genocide can be a war, but
Absolutely not.
Look,
The genociding of the Amalekites, the men, the women, and the infants, that's not a war. The infants aren't combatants.
look, I already said that it's very difficult to look at the blood-soaked past and to know exactly what to do about it. The answer I gave to the gentleman.
Again, you ask the person a question, a very straightforward question. Well, first, are you a Christian? I don't know if I'm a Christian or not. And what is Christianity and what is good and what is we? What is this belief and all of that? Then in this case, a very direct question. He was asking him about the reference to the Amalekites, the same reference that was used by Benjamin Netanyahu, who Jordan Peterson met and promoted and supported alongside his team in the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro and co. And he tried to justify it by saying, you know, our history is full of blood. Well, of course, our history is full of blood. No nation has a perfect track record. But here we are talking about a certain order that the man was asking you about and the concept of genocide. Then he moves on to tell you that a war can be a genocide. And what people need to understand here now, because to many people, by the way, this might seem like a passing comment, especially these people with a very large following, might seem like a passing comment. And yeah, you know what? It can be a genocide. A genocide is the slaughter of everyone, regardless of what they are, infants, what's happening now inside of the Gaza Strip, fetuses being killed, 9 children the other day in one go. A woman lost 9 of her children in one go, over 20,000 children in infanticide. And you have these people who portray themselves as and sell themselves as the enlightened intellectuals of the West, the leaders of modernity, whether it's in the name of Christianity or atheism or secularism or skepticism or post-secularism, whatever they want to call it. Yet, when it comes to genocide and when it comes to Zionism, they fall like rats. And that's because these people are planted there. They're there on a mission, especially when it comes to Zionism and the state of Israel. And Jordan Peterson, apart from the fact that the man was humiliated, by the way, in the first round with the other kid who was asking him about the Christianity and his view of Christianity. And what is he? I mean, it's quite fairly straightforward to ask a person, what are you? I mean, easy. I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian, I'm a Jew, I'm an agnostic, I'm an atheist. But Jordan Peterson, a man who's selling Christianity and the idea of God and the concept of God and all of that, all of a sudden, yeah, I don't know, I'm not sure. And, you know, genocide can be war. And we all have a bad track record. Again, deviating, deflecting, running away from the concept and from the question that is handed or aimed at him directly. Amalekites, the clarification, the order, and the slaughter of people, regardless of who they are and what they are. Children, infants, anyone. So it was, again, quite an interesting interview that was. But I just wanted to share this, especially with the recent link to the genocide, right? These people fail time after time and expose their true colors time after time. And Jordan Peterson, despite the fact that the man has been exposed from a very long time, insists on exposing himself yet another time, despite the fact that the whole world has witnessed the most barbaric and abhorrent genocide in the 21st century, and one of the most cruel acts against the civilian population in history by Zionists of the state of Israel. Yet he's still trying to convince us that, oh no, it might be acceptable, it might be, no, it's not okay. We have a very clear case of genocide and the mass murder of people, regardless of who they are and what they are. Innocent people like that shouldn't be acceptable. Yet we have these people to this day spewing this venom, and politicians too. The other day, another politician in the US telling you to nuke Gaza, drop a nuclear bomb. Lindsey Graham said it before, another one now. And it's normal. They want to normalize this cruelty. So people shouldn't fall for these traps and shouldn't fall for these arguments, regardless of how they're being portrayed or who makes these claims or statements, especially when the whole world has been witnessing a genocide for the past 18 months happening against the Palestinian people.